Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between EnTe and Kevin. EnTe spawning as the red undead on the bottom left hand side of the map, going up against Kevin, who has spawned as the yellow night elf on the top right. Gonna go ahead and speed things up to 8 times speed until we get to that 2-minute mark and this game gets underway. Opening up with Keeper of the Grove coming in from Kevin. Meanwhile, over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we do open up with a Death Knight. Death Knight going up against Keeper of the Grove. No big surprises here, as we are looking at a graveyard to eventually add in some Crypt Fiends. Off to the north here, Keeper of the Grove doing what Keeper of the Grove does best, entangling an early Acolyte to deny a bit of scouting, but that does mean he doesn't have access to those Force of Nature Trance, allowing him to do creeping a little bit more quickly. He does come out on top with additional bit of experience, but did the Ancient of War get the last hit? It may have. I'm not quite sure the amount of experience you're supposed to have after clearing out one of these early creep camps and an Acolyte, but it does seem a little bit lower than I expected. Kevin continuing to finish things off here. Dagda? I mean, I don't think I've actually seen, maybe I haven't paid attention to much of the Keeper of the Grove names, but Dagda does not seem like one I recognize all that much. Anyways, Duke Wintermaul now making its way back out onto the battlefield here. Keeper of the Grove going to get an entangle off onto the Death Knight. Death Knight, however, will be able to break free of that entangle much more quickly because of that natural heroic armor or hero type class. Not quite sure what exactly gives it there, as a Death Coil goes down and the Archer down to 28 hit points. Down to 8 hit points, may end up getting taken down. There's Dust of Appearance, and there's a reveal and a second Death Coil to finish off the Archer. Alright, forcing EnTe to use a Death Coil instead of being able to chase with an auto attack, as the Keeper of the Grove lands a last minute entangle to try and save the units. Meanwhile, Death Knight down across here does spot Kevin trying to build a Tree of Life and attempting an expansion over here in the center portion of the map. Death Knight doesn't have much of an army to do anything to really stop this, as more ghouls are still being trained, and the Necropolis is 2/3 of the way from being Halls of the Dead. Treants are now back out onto the battlefield here. 5-3-3 creep camp will get cleared up pretty quickly. A couple of ensnares going down. Treants absorbing quite a bit of damage, as the Treants, Keeper of the Grove purposely gains aggro to try and save this other Treant here, is now down to 16 hit points. Death Knight now shows up to the party. Could we see a little bit more hit points? Dust of Appearance here. There goes an ensnare. There goes a Treant death by a Forest Troll Trapper. A little bit of experience denial for EnTe, as the Tree of Life is now done, or will be done momentarily, and uproot itself here and eat its way through these trees. Back on the other side, EnTe doing a similar strategy here, trying to clear up this Ogre Magi creep camp. Does finish it off, picks up Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3. Down to the south here, once more, ghouls still added here. Quickly going into Black Citadel, we are getting up a Lich as well, and we should be getting up a Slaughterhouse here in just a few moments, as well as an Ancient of Wonders being placed down to try and act as a rallying point at that expansion. All right, where is this tree trying to go? He's just trying to eat his way through. Needs to eat this last tree and then push his way through right here. Death Knight, Skeletal Minions making their rounds out again. Are we going to see a bit of routine as well? No, we are going to be seeing that Keeper of the Grove now making its way across. Note decides not to try and engage, perhaps just trying to steal some of the experience away from that Lich, as the Lich just makes its way out onto the battlefield. Frost Nova, always a scary proposition. Keeper of the Grove going to summon up some Trents, and here we are. There goes the engagement. Sasquatch now getting in some damage, as the Forest Troll Trapper just purposely wandering around right now. And we're going to see level 3 onto that Keeper of the Grove, as the archers are now looking to back away. There's a quick, Frost Nova, but a quick Shadow Meld there, as the archers will try to stay alive, but a Dust of Appearance going to finish off that archer anyways. A second Frost Nova goes down here. Dust of Appearance is still there as Kevin quickly denies a bit of experience once more. There's another kill there as the Death Knight nearing to level 3 as well. Lich is relatively low on mana, unable to cast anything new, as we are looking at a Naga Sea Witch as the second hero coming in from Kevin. All right, was not expecting the Naga Sea Witch at all. There goes the wolf here. Sasquatches right there. Archers are going to be getting ready to engage once more, as we are looking at some damage as they are trying to flee back out. Meanwhile, Death Knight could get to level 3 here. Keeper of the Grove does show up. Level 3 now on that Death Knight. Level 2 Death Whale. Lich could be in a little bit of trouble. Wand of the Wind, and a beautiful timed Wand of the Wind. It's removing the Death Knight from the equation and his level 2 Death Coil on the heel. Beautiful use right there, translating an item into a sure advantage onto the battlefield, forcing that Lich to try and be resurrected. Level 1 heroes do resurrect very quickly, however, as it is going to be back out onto the battlefield in no time. We are looking at curious building placements. Kevin, now with that expansion fully saturated and operational, has been mining for a little bit less than 1 minute so far, or 1 minute's worth of full saturation. As the Naga Sea Witch and the Keeper of the Grove should be trying to be pushing forward. We do see Hippogriff Riders coming in from Kevin, a bit of a tech switch here, and there are 2 Crypt Fiends down onto the battlefield. This could be absolutely key, as the units are going to be trying to engage once more. Dire Frost Wolf going to try and fight. There goes a couple of treants as well, getting taken down, as the Goblin Shredder going to finish things off. True Shot Ore going to get picked up. Staff of Preservation, Scroll of Town Portal. The Goblin Shredder trying to be saved, down to 123, down to 92. Nope, it does not get saved. Scroll of Town Portal not in time, as the Goblin Shredder and Kevin, hoping to be able to get lumber a little bit more easily, ends up burning through a Scroll of Town Portal and unable to save the most expensive unit, aside from, actually even more expensive than a level 1 hero. Unit's going to try and engage here, losing of a Moonwell. There's a quick detonation. EnTe looking to continue to fight back its way over. Ancient of War now going to be absorbing a bit of damage. Does have 900 hit points, but only 2 armor, and doesn't attack that quickly. Kevin may end up losing an Ancient of War right here, as the Orb of Corruption from the Lich going to start removing armor from that Keeper of the Grove. Does have a Potion of Healing. There goes it's going to get taken down. EnTe now with these Crypt Fiends and Lich trying to get some damage onto this Tree of Life. Treants are going to try and make their way over. There are a couple of fairy dragons here. 1 obsidian statue. That is his. Treants are going to be making their way out. Death Coil, Frost Nova straight up onto the Keeper of the Grove. Quick Staff of Preservation for the save right there, as we could be looking at death onto a ghoul, giving level 2 now, as we see a Fork Lightning go down as well. All right, low hit point ghoul is going to get taken down. Going after a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend gets taken down. Low hit point ghoul right there. It's not getting taken down for some reason. Instead, going after the Crypt Fiends again. There, finally ghoul taken down. 34 supply compared to 46. Kevin has the supply advantage, but that's only because he has additional workers. 46 compared to, 33 compared to 30 right now, as both sides are still pretty even. Thank you for the follow, Frost. Lich looking to finish off this expansion here. Wisps are nearby, trying to get in some repairs, as the Keeper of the Grove is within blasting problems, as the Death Knight and the Lich just don't have enough mana to finish it off just quite yet. A little bit more healings from those Moonwells. Keeper of the Grove, 3 Fairy Dragons, 2 Hippogriff Riders, and 1 Naga Sea Witch looking to, save this expansion, as the expansion is down to 1,000 hit points and constantly being repaired. 38 supply compared to 45. Army size, however, EnTe is slightly ahead, 33 compared to 29, as Kevin looks to reinforce his expansion. As we make our way to the bottom left-hand side of the map, we are getting in some additional obsidian statues. Destroyers are in play to try and devour magic, those treants, and that important entangle. Once those are removed or countered, the Keeper of the Grove really loses a lot of his usability. Meanwhile, the Destroyer will be able to generate some additional hit points, as the Death Knight of EnTe gets up to level 4, and the Lich gets up to level 3. That's a big jump in overall power. 3-2 going up against 4-3. The Frost Nova of the Lich just that much more powerful. And if you absorb a little bit too much damage in a battle on a hero, you can see your own hero getting blasted away and frozen in its tracks and killed in just a matter of seconds. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 2 does pick up a potion of greater mana, and with that potion of greater mana has a lot of damage as well. Level 2 Fork Lightning could be next, and with that level 2 Fork Lightning, ghouls are going to end up getting picked apart pretty quickly as well. Fairy Dragons now trying to make their way over here to the top left. Well, that Death Coil just in time for that save. Units are now trying to make their rounds back out. Fairy Dragons getting webbed down here. Fairy Dragons trying to go after the Destroyers as one Fairy Dragon gets webbed and destroyed. 58 supply. Kevin using the tactical retreat right now to try and regroup, see where it wants to try and go to next. Heads over to the Moonwells, and this is a pure Ancient of Wind army alongside Ancient of War, the archers for the Hippogriff Riders, as the units are going to be trying to engage here. All right, I'm getting ready to head back down. There goes a web down. Now units are going to be trying to fight their way through. Crypt Fiends are now back down onto the ground, and here we go. Hippogriff, no Hippogriff, or true Hippogriff Riders, and a whole bunch of Fairy Dragons. Fork Lightning coming back across, and trying to finish off some more units. There goes another, there goes some more units. A ghoul going to get taken down, another ghoul going to get taken down. Naga Sea Witch does get up to level 3. Level 2 Fork Lightning could be available as well. One Fairy Dragon getting absolutely destroyed there. Fairy Dragons, even in that static form, Mana Flare form, unable to take focus piercing damage from those Crypt Fiends, as still the Tree of Life may need to get some repairs off. Fairy Dragons continuing to pick apart. Hippogriff Rider getting it webbed down and could get finished off here. So many units to try and web, and perhaps that's the way he's trying to counter all of this, with Hippogriff Riders and Fairy Dragons. If you try an auto cast on the Crypt Fiends are not going to be going after the right targets many of the times, as Kevin takes a supply advantage here. 53 supply compared to 41. EnTe does have a little bit of an advantage still. No, actually, no, does not have the advantage here, as Kevin's reinforcements are going to be coming back out here onto the battlefield. Keeper of the Grove looking to back away. Naga Sea Witch does have a little bit of mana. Fork Lightning going down. Death Coil just in time on that Crypt Fiend as he falls below 400 hit points after the Death Coil. Continuing this fight once more. Not Lich now saved right there. Level 4 on that Lich. Obsidian Statue now taken down. Naga Sea Witch still has plenty of mana to go. Mana Flare is coming back across, trying to finish off more of those units. Skeletal Minions could get taken down as well, as we're still getting a little bit of fights underway. There goes the Lich. Lich gets taken down at level 4, and the Keeper of the Grove is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Here is the Keeper of the Grove. Yes, saved, as the Naga Sea Witch does have a Staff of Preservation to save right there. What is the Keeper of the Grove doing? Needs to heal back up, and heals back up at those Moonwells just in time. All right, one Crypt Fiend getting taken down, one Obsidian Statue taken down, and now Kevin with a major advantage here. 51 supply compared to 29. Up ahead in terms of hero levels, up ahead in terms of economy, still behind in terms of tech. Will he be able to fully convert this into a victory? Winning the one game is perhaps oftentimes some of the most difficult things to do in any real-time strategy game, as you are winning it, but now you need to make sure you don't make mistakes and allow your opponent to get back in. But at the same time, it doesn't mean be defensive. You still need to be aggressive. So a little bit of disparity right there, or a little bit of tension there, trying for Kevin to do what he needs to do next in terms of follow through. Keeper of the Grove looking to get to level 5 on himself, and then perhaps we'll see what that follow-up is going to be. There's level 5 onto the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove actually staying nearby, taking some experience from that Naga Sea Witch still, as the Death Knight alongside Destroyers are going to be getting ready to engage right here. All right, what item was dropped? Circuit of Nobility. Here we are going into an engagement in quick entangle there. There's a Devour Magic followed by a Death Coil for that save. EnTe down to 38 supply, but still a force to be reckoned with, as the Lich should be back out onto the battlefield here. There's another Devour Magic again. The Destroyer saying thank you very much. That looks absolutely delicious. Let me continue to enjoy the feast you have prepared for me. All right, continuing to poke away at EnTe's Crypt Fiends as the Lich now back out here onto the battlefield. Fairy Dragons could be in a little bit of problems. There does have plus armor. There's a Fork Lightning going across there, and a little bit more damage again. All right, Entangle onto the Lich. Lich looks like it could be in trouble. It gets Devoured Magic to try and escape, followed by the Death Coil again. And this seems to be working for EnTe, as EnTe is able to just constantly divide and conquer, still trying to finish off some of these forces of nature and some of these other ground units. Are we going to see another Devour Magic? There goes another mana attack against a force of nature. That bonus damage coupled with the magic damage really dealing enough to finish off anything with heavy armor. 63 supply compared to 44. Units looking to back up here. Fairy Dragons looking to clear up some more creep camps. Keeper of the Grove still staying nearby. More afraid of the Creep Jack than needing the additional bonus experience on this Naga Sea Witch, perhaps. As that Naga, or as a couple other units going to get finished off. Meanwhile, the expansion now under a bit of pressure here. Tree of Life trying to get repaired here. Tree of Life only showing level 2 armor. No Nature's Blessing as of yet. Keeper of the Grove being forced to retreat back here. Does have a wand of mana stealing and 64 supply compared to 47. So many Crypt Fiends and double Obsidian statues trying to just create a little bit of separation and distance. Destroyers continuing to be able to devour magic, and Kevin unable to hold onto his expansion here, as we're looking at the final engagement here. Wisp now being brought over. There is the repairs absolutely necessary. A little bit of bonus damage on some fleeing Crypt Fiends, as the Crypt Fiend is able to escape away at 276 hit points. Additional frost armor, a little bit more healing as well, as Fork Lightning does go down across multiple. Finish off that Crypt Fiend with additional plus armor. So difficult to take out. Frost armor coupled with Death Coil, coupled with healing, coupled with the preferred armor types. These, well, Fairy Dragons and Hippogriff Riders are having a bit of a difficult time. Meanwhile, Naga Sea Witch now finally low on mana, using those cold arrows. Going to be able to finish off the Lich. No, it is not. Lich able to stay alive. Level 3 Death Coil saves it in time, as we're still looking at more damage coming back on through. Naga Sea Witch stays at level 4 after the Obsidian statue taking down Keeper of the Grove. Now back out onto the battlefield, trying to finish things off, perhaps finish off some additional units. Another Crypt Fiend going to get taken down as the units are retreating back again. Kevin still with a supply advantage. However, hero level advantage now going in favor of EnTe, as EnTe is almost level 5 on the Lich, and, well, getting very close to level 6 on his Death Knight. Death Knight making its way back over. Tree of Life getting pressured in once more. 14 gold a second going up against 10. EnTe doing a great job with less, as he has less to micro and less to worry about. He can actually pick off all of Kevin's units that, well, seem to be hanging. Let's continue to fight this way through, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Naga Sea Witch still continuing to battle out. Quick Devour Magic right there, as the Fairy Dragons, immune to magic, just laughing at those Destroyers. Units continuing to try and retreat back. EnTe, is it going to be able to attack here? No, just trying to repair this Tree of Life, not fully saturated any longer. Main base only has a minute of mining left. EnTe needs to be aware of this. Is if he is not, he is going to be coming into this next portion of the game with a serious disadvantage. Crypt Fiends, Obsidian statues now making their way over here to the bottom left as well. Death Knight now making its way across. Death Knight picking up double potions of mana, Rod of Necromancy, all of these, and getting underway. We are looking at a Dark Ritual, as well as the Lich does want to come back over the top. Trident Blastings, 2 level 5 heroes for Undead. If you've ever gone up against 2 level 5 heroes against Undead, you know how precarious the situation is. Fairy Dragons now going after those units. Destroyers trying to make their way back. Beautiful Fork Lightning finishing off some of those Crypt Fiends. A second Crypt Fiend could get taken down, and, well, that may give a little bit of additional life into Kevin's attack here, but a Fairy Dragon may end up getting webbed down once more. Staff of Preservation for the save, as the Lich is back out here onto the battlefield, looking to finish off that Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch down to 417 hit points after the potion of healing, continuing to battle it through. More fairy dragons showing up to the party. Forko Lightning doesn't finish off a Crypt Fiend. Obsidian statues plus a Death Knight doing a great job keeping all of these units alive. All right, Naga Sea Witch doesn't have that much mana. Keeper of the Grove has enough for a couple of entangles. Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used to try and back away, and I believe that is going to be the end of it right there. All of the units being able to stay alive. EnTe doing more with less. Let's see, only 5 workers here and no more mining underway. There is, what is that? 2, is that an additional Crypt Fiend? Is that even on Blight? Yes, it is. Still able to regenerate some hit points as the Death Knight stays at level 5, Lich is staying at level 5, and getting gold some other way. Meanwhile, Kevin has expanded over here to the bottom right-hand side of the map, and, well, expanding to the bottom right-hand side of the map, completely catching EnTe unaware right there, making it that much more difficult for him to set up an expansion. He's going to be able to force a fight with a Tree of Life here, and the Tree of Life is still fighting back. Wyworth, thank you for the sub here. Yeah, every little bit of support helps. Thank you very much. As we are looking at Kevin trying to hold on to this of Big Frost Nova, stopping much of the mining in its tracks right here. Kevin continuing to try and fight back here. Are we going to be looking at more Frost Novas or more repairs? That is all happening right here, as Kevin could end up getting taken down. I couldn't watch much of these, but still my favorite. Thank you, Haimida. Meanwhile, Haunted Goldmine now onto those from those acolytes, but that is a bit of time where, well, EnTe is not getting any gold. Can Kevin close the door out on this game in the next 2 minutes? That is the big question. If Kevin can close out the game in the next 2 minutes, that will be a big win indeed. However, he's going to be forced to deal with a level 6 Death Knight with level 3 Unholy Aura, who seems to be everywhere they want to be. Tree of Ages already being brought over. Nature's Blessing being researched here as well. 1,700 hit points, as the Destroyers could easily take down this Tree of Ages. You got to be careful because of that armor type. Wisp now coming off of the lines here, and we could be looking at some detonations onto those Obsidian statues, would then pretty much be that much more worthless. Level 6 Death Knight, level 3 Unholy Aura, the Keeper of the Grove falls at level 5. Naga Sea Witch trying to hold this army together. EnTe is going to be able to hold on to this, as the Naga Sea Witch is still in a bit of trouble all by its lonesome self. Death Knight does have a little bit of mana here, but unable to save that Crypt Fiend there. 33 supply compared to 38. Army sizes are about the same right now. 29 to 29, as more units are still trying to retreat away. Mass Fairy Dragons in the air, owning the skies, taking on the ground. Not enough Crypt Fiends on the ground to try and web things down, as the Tree of Ages does have improved armor now, and should start to try and eat a bit of trees to replenish some of those hit points. Naga Sea Witch, Tree of Ages down to 500 hit points. Wisp is trying to come off to repair. Death Knight, while trying to finish off the Wisp, unable to do exactly that. Tree of Ages is about to be finished up here in just a moment. Kevin is in serious trouble. 32 supply compared to 26. We are still getting in some mining here. Bottom left-hand side does not have any acolytes mining at all. So still, Kevin mining quite a bit and still unable to finish off and close out this game, as the Fairy Dragons now dive on in. All right, diving on in is going to be able to finish off the Obsidian statue. No, not finishing off the Obsidian statue, down to 22 hit points, as it should finally get finished off there. Naga Sea Witch does also have Mana Shield. Okay, so retraining into Mana Shield on the Naga Sea Witch. No Fork Lightning, only level 2 Cold Arrows. Mana Shield on the Naga Sea Witch, making it pretty much the most tanky hero in the game, as it also has a potion of mana. Level 3 Mana Shield translates mana into hit points very, very much, and it is actually more efficient to use a potion of mana to stay alive than a potion of healing at this point and stage in the game. Crypt Fiend's now trying to fight its way through, is going to be able to take down some of these units. Death Quell for the save as well. One Crypt Fiend able to do exactly that, as the Death Knight now down to 265 hit points. Units are still retreating back here. Crypt Fiend and Lich trying to finish things off back on the other side. Down across here, Death Knight looking to retreat back. The Keeper of the Grove is nearly back out onto the battlefield. Is that going to be enough? Naga Sea Witch trying to finish off another Obsidian statue, and does exactly that as well. Naga Sea Witch still at full hit points at this point and stage in the game. It looks as though it's able to shake off much of that damage. The Orb of Corruption attack, +5 Orb of Corruption with the negate the negative armor. That is still interesting. He was only Nagasewicz only losing about 11 mana per or per Lich attack, which is actually rather high. Continuing to battle it up here, Death Knight could be in trouble. And is it going to be level 3 mana shield that actually finishes things off? Death Knight able to escape. Not enough cold mana for cold arrows there as the Nagasewicz looking to finish off this Lich here. Lich could be in serious trouble. Nagasewicz has plenty of mana. Are we going to see a Death Coil? Nagasewicz gets a cold arrow onto the Death Knight, and that is going to be it. Kevin with a retrain onto the Nagasewicz for mana shield. Mana shield acting as allowing that Nagasewicz to really just enormous amounts of damage without having to worry at all. And that may be the end of it, as both heroes for EnTe are now fallen. All right, bottom right-hand side of the map does in fact have some acolytes trying to mine. Are we getting in some additional... Well, no, there is no altar here to try and resurrect, and this is gonna be the game. Kevin taking out EnTe in an impressive fashion. Mana shield, the ultimate ability, or the ability here that came out on top to take control of the situation. I don't agree with picking up a level 3 cold arrows over tornado, though, as if this did turn into a base race scenario, you definitely want that additional siege damage. Great game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.